Hello and welcome to Shad's Voice. Um, where I talk about random topics and we go from there and different topic conversations that I get from a random topic generator, and I just go until I feel like I cannot talk anymore about it. And this was a very just I have not had a one word um topic. Most of them have been some kind of question or statement, but I feel like this is so broad and it's kind of hilarious. And but I love it. So I was like I have to. But at the same time I need to also make it a broader topic because just it deserves it to me because it's one of the things I'm passionate about and I'll explain it. Anyway, so the topic is whales. Whales in the ocean. Whales. But if you know me, I'm addicted to water. I'm addicted to swimming. I absolutely love water. I love the ocean. I love everything, almost everything in the ocean. The ocean is like life for me, or water in general, and swimming. And I've been known to be addicted to like water levels in video games and all that. I just love it. Deep water makes Shadow happy. Very much. Most people have a fear of the ocean. I would never know how I would feel about that if I did have that fear, but I don't. I'm not terrified of the ocean completely. I mean, yeah, there can be some terrifying things in there, like sharks. Who wants to be in a shark attack, right? But not me. But I don't necessarily have that fear of the ocean or deep water. But the topic is whales. But broader spectrum, I will still talk about the ocean. My favorite whale, I mean, I love whales in general. I think great. I've never seen a live one. I would love to, though. I would really love to see a live whale. I've only seen dolphins, uh, wild dolphins, when I was very young. I remember I used to live well, I guess I'll talk about. I used to live in Texas. That's where I was born, and so that's near the Gulf of Mexico. I think we were about. I want to say it was 2 hours, but maybe it was more than 2 hours, and my childhood memory brain might be lying to me that we might have been 2 hours or more away from driving to the beach, and we would swim in the Gulf of Mexico. And one of my greatest memories was swimming and like diving for hermit crabs. And that very salty water, brown salty water. Oh, my cat's on the table. That would definitely burn if you had a sunburn. Very much so. It actually sucked. But whales, yeah, I've never seen actual. Oh, wait, no, I haven't finished explaining how I saw these dolphins. Okay, so I remember going like on a ferry when I was younger, like, you know, take a boat, usually with a car, I think it was, from point A to point B or whatever. And I would see like I remember seeing wild dolphins. I have it in my memory, I just can't tell you any more than that. So, but I've seen wild dolphins in the ocean. I have not seen a whale. Like I said, I would love to see whales. My favorite whales happen to be orcas or killer whales. Absolutely love them. More or less, I guess they could be terrifying. I would love to go to somewhere with like crystal blue waters or somewhere, and see orcas and humpback whales and stuff like that. Absolutely, I think it would be an amazing experience. Um, I've seen sharks too. I can't say the huge ones. Probably, baby ones about arm length or more, something like that. People would unfortunately fish for them at the Gulf of Mexico. I remember specifically one of my cousins when we were way younger. There was a baby shark on land, dead, so obviously, gutted. I mean, cut open. I remember like guts hanging out anyway, but he picked up the shark by the back, thankfully, but this is still horrible. He picked up the shark and ran after, I think, another one of my cousins with it. Run after one of my other cousins after them with the shark in hand. I don't know what kind of shark. I don't remember what shark. I've never seen like an alive shark. I feel like there could have been a point where I might have got hit in the back with one. Like I said, this water was very brown, so you really couldn't see much. But I remember a point where I was swimming and I felt something very hard hit my back. And of course, like I said, this was way younger. I haven't lived in Texas for way over like 12 years now. I've visited a few times, but I have not been to the beach at all since when I was younger, and unfortunately, but I remember being hit in the back very hard by something. Most people think, oh, maybe it was a fish, which I mean, if it's a shark, yeah, it could have been definitely a fish. But it felt so hard that it might have not have been a normal fish, you know? And it was like the middle of my back, and you just never know. I didn't get bit or anything, couldn't say that. Hope to never get bit by a shark or anything, so, but who knows? Other stories from the beach. Uh, one of my craziest stories from the beach. Um, going off the topic, going away from the topic a little bit off of whales and dolphins and sharks. Jellyfish. Never been stung by jellyfish. I've seen jellyfish before, actually, jellyfish from the Gulf of Mexico. This particular day, I believe, was like cloudy and windy, but for some reason, there was a bunch of jellyfish in the water. Like, nobody could be swimming, but they would, like, they're floating on top of the water and they're coming to land. A few of them were on land. I slipped on one. Did not get stung. Like I said, thankfully, did not get stung. But I slipped on a jellyfish. I remember how weird that was. Um, I remember. Okay, that squeaking is my cat in the rocking chair over by me, in case you wonder what that sound is in the recording. Um, one of the things that I remember is almost like I feel like it had to be a jellyfish, but it doesn't look like a normal jellyfish. This was a white, to me, what it looked like a crystalline. Get down. Now I'm trying to get my cat down. Crystalline, like what do you think? Like a white crystal, like kind of rock. It looked kind of like, I don't know, sharp and jagged and all that. So you think, oh, maybe there's a weird rock on the beach. So I tried to go to pick it up, and it's squishy and it's slimy, and I let it drop. I would think it was probably some kind of jellyfish. I was not sure. Otherwise, I did not mess with it, no. Um, After that. So, like I said, stupid things you probably do as a kid, you're lucky that something didn't kind of happen. But yeah, one of my pastimes when I was younger with my sister and going to the beach was diving for hermit crabs, which, if you know what a hermit crab is, I hope you know what a hermit crab is. They're just crabs that live in seashells. Mostly they outgrow a shell, they move to another one. And we would dive for the like we would feel the shells with like our feet, and then we'd dive. We'd go grab the shell, bring it up to the surface, see what we kind of got. I remember this specific memory of finding this tiniest crab, hermit crab in a shell, and very tiny shell, like freaking pinky nail tiny. And I remember this just random guy must have been showing it to, showing, yeah, showing it to him. And he was like, how did you even feel this? And it's like, you do. You feel it with your feet and just kind of delve for it. And yeah, it's great memories. And like I said, I really love the ocean. One of the things I wanted to be when I was younger, maybe still would be, but not going to college for it, but marine biology or finding some way to find it, save the ocean. At one time, considering working for SeaWorld and being an animal trainer, but your views on that, I mean, love it or hate it, don't yell at me, but I really did want to be an orca trainer. And yes, I do understand how dangerous that can be and how unfair it is for something that big to be in this enclosed space that is probably wasteful and they should be in the ocean. Yes, absolutely. I do 100% agree. They need to be out there and free, but it's also very hard to put something that has been in captivity that long back out into the world, into the wild. And yeah, but yeah, you could argue it shouldn't have been there in the first place, and yes, I do understand. But I also have this belief that not everybody is going to see something in their natural habitat, and with the way things are going extinct, whether it's because of us as human beings or natural selection is getting rid of some species of animals, but a good chunk of it is us as human beings destroying their habitats. You kind of want to bring in that sort of species and you want to teach somebody about it and have them see it. And I feel like it's also important to do that in a way. It's like, yes, there's wild ones out there, but if you have one that you can physically show somebody that is absolutely being taken well care of, that's more or less take it as you want. If it's being taken well care of and very careful with, making sure it's healthy and happy, you are teaching a generation of a lot of people, I hope, to care for a lot of species. And that's why I feel like, in some ways, zoos and stuff like that is good for that. And this kind of went kind of crazy from the topic of whales, um, but I mean, as the deeper part of this is why I feel like conservation and protection of animals and us learning about them and seeing them is kind of goes hand to hand of protecting animals, other than sometimes thinking they should not be locked up, which, like I said, I'm both ways. I do understand all of that, but as long as you're not mistreating the animal, which unfortunately does happen, um, and you're giving that animal a lot of like room, which is hard, is if you know how big of a whale gets. No, I don't think we truly know how big a whale gets, because obviously most of us have not been next to a whale. I think I would be astounded if, like, and one of the sad things is like a beached whale. If, like, you're standing next to a beach whale, not only is it sad, but you would probably be astounded how something that huge, which can only be in water, by the way, can only be in water because of how heavy they are naturally, and uh, we will never understand. And yeah, and like I said, they could probably be one of the most hardest things to take care of. And so they probably should be left out in the wild. But for you to go see them, you have to get on a boat. And like I said, that probably uh, would be a very crazy experience. And on the topic of that, um, illegal whaling and stuff like that, very depressing. And like I said, one of the things I would love is to keep everything in the ocean for a long time. I know, like I said, there's a lot of species going extinct, and the ocean is one of the things I love. If I can find a way to save the ocean for myself, I probably absolutely would. But there's so many generations of stuff of that happening that it takes more than one person to end it, of course. But it was one of the things I really wanted to do, and I would still love to do, but it's like, I don't know where I'm going in life. Um, so, yeah, the ocean, like I said, I'm very passionate about. One of the things I would love to do is just go, um, diving and snorkeling, and I would absolutely probably would love if I knew I was safe. If I knew I was safe, I would be in a cage and I would be right next to a great white because I know I would never probably get that experience ever again. And though it would probably terrify me right away, I would be like, no, man, I'm gonna do it. Come on, let me do it. Just because I love the ocean, and it's just like, it would be something I would do. Like, one of the other things, too. Okay, not on the topic of, like, ocean in general, but more still on water. I think there's something called the Cage of Death, I believe it was called, or something in Australia, something. You can like, and it's like this tube or something, and they feed one of their like giant crocodiles. I would absolutely, like I said, and I think that's glass. That's the terrifying part. I think it's glass, but um. I would be in there and I would love to see that freaking crocodile. Like I said, these most powerful, terrifying creatures, but we share the world with them and we should let them stay and not kill them without a reason. And to understand that they're here and they should stay too. I mean, we have no right to destroy their lives and their habitats because it's like they've been here for years. They've gone through very many evolutions and some of them pretty old, all the way back to the dinosaurs, more or less related to them. And that is insane. Like, there is history in these animals, and it's like, we need to protect them. So, yeah, I think that'll do it for this video. I've talked a long while, more than just whales, but ocean in general, shads love water, and um, things are, yeah, I like I said, if I had more opportunities to go to the ocean, unfortunately, I do not. I am stuck swimming in lakes right now, which comes with its own good and bad. I don't much like public pools, but yeah, different different experiences. And but I still absolutely love swimming. It's one of my favorite things to do. But anyway, yeah, I'll see you in the next one.